So, what in the world is going on with this save file? You know, returning to a series after a few months is always a bit of a dicey proposition, but it's Space Rome. So Roma Galactica 2.5 finally returns today. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Ancient Relics in our Roma Galactica 2.5 series. It has been a hot second or three, or maybe even four, since we last set foot in this particular galaxy. So what I would like to do with this episode, apologies in advance to the backlog audience, but for those who are watching this as it comes out, and also for my sake, we are going to spend some time this episode not only talking about the upcoming Stellaris content for the channel, but just getting our feet wet with this save file again, because it has been a second. And I have unpaused the game for just a few ticks to where the economy is correct, but we're just going to get reacquainted with this save file in a way that is kind of comfortable, not only for me, but hopefully for you guys as well. We're going to go through the economy somewhat as well, because you'll be thrilled to hear, I've mentioned many times in my most recent Stellaris videos, which it's been a while, but I have mentioned in those videos that I haven't had a lot of time to play Stellaris offline. That's no longer the case. I have played a few full games recently and really picked up some good kind of habits, I think, that are more difficult to pick up when you're playing a Let's Play and recording and commentating at the same time. So we are going to go through the economy as well and make sure there's no unnecessary redundancy or anything like that. The first thing I would like to do as we jump into episode 21 here is talk about the most obvious stuff on the screen as a bit of a reminder for everyone. We have an Ascension perk available because I would really like our next Ascension perk to be, where are you? There you are, Galactic Wonders. I want just all the things. I want the Dyson Sphere mainly, but I just want all the things. So what we need for that, according to the comments on the last episode, and thank you for this, by the way, because I did go back and look. As a matter of fact, I restarted this recording because I realized that that had been noted in the previous comments, and I forgot to go check. So, went back and looked, and we need battleships, 0-point power, and Citadel tech in order to unlock Mega Engineering, which is the prerequisite for the Galactic Wonders Ascension perk. So, we are sitting on that Ascension perk, waiting for our ideal choice. We could pick another one, but I frankly don't want to. So that's number one. We do have some unspent trait points, evidently, and I believe that just has to do with this upliftable species. I don't know that we have... We can always double check. Yeah, we've got a few human pops that need to be gene modded to remove their wastefulness. I'll get to that a little bit later. But that is mainly just there because there's an upliftable species. Relic activation is possible. We have the head of Zarklan, so it costs 150 influence and will increase spiritualist ethics attraction, so that's a hell no right there. And then finally we have a rivalry. These are just notifications from the most recent galactic happenings. Reminder as well, we are at war. The war is nearly at an end, but we are a member of the Galactic Axis, which that's the Raxar Hegemony and us, against our good friends over here, the Veteresius Confederation, the Izki Alliance, and the Mandasura Star Union, I believe are the members of the opposing side. Yes, those three. And you'll also recall in the previous episode that we were preparing, potentially, we've already taken some territory from the Dabulan Free Traders, but we are preparing potentially to conquer all of them so that Rome can kind of encompass more of just this entire section of the galaxy. There's also the Juranshu Coalition down here. And as I recall, they have a middle to slightly positive opinion of us. So I don't know whether or not I was directly planning on attacking them. The Dabulans are the ones mainly in my crosshairs at the moment. We have to make sure we finish this war first. So diplomatically, that is the long and short version, or the short version at least, of what's going on with our neighbors, our immediate neighbors. We also have the Glebsig Ancients right up here, which is a stagnant ascendancy of enigmatic observers. So they're xenophiles, thank God. They're not particularly aggressive. If they awaken, then they will awaken in a friendly fashion. And then, of course, the Raxar Hegemony are our allies, and they have been for most of the game, mainly just because they provide a buffer against these aggressive jerks over here. So the Genogian Watchers, now, this is a stagnant ascendancy as well, I think. Yes, they have not awakened either. The main thing that we're dealing with in terms of, or beyond the immediate diplomatic conflict that we're in right now, this immediate war, the Galactic Axis Condyne Concord War, is the Hisma Horde. We do have the Great Khan that awakened a few episodes back, and so we are potentially dealing with the expansion of his territory in this direction. And if you want to see what this lovely bastard looks like, there you go. So that's kind of what we're dealing with in terms of our diplomatic situation in this series. Let's also review our ships that we have so we can get reacquainted with the Roman arsenal. We have the Vespa point defense corvette and then a missile boat. So interesting here that we have a picket ship and a missile boat, but not just a straight up corvette. I might add a third corvette before long. But we have the Ion class destroyer, which is just a weapons destroyer, and then of course an artillery class De Vera destroyer. So we have an artillery destroyer as well. Pretty cool. I like that the front of the artillery destroyer has that flat kind of hammerhead look. It's appropriate for an artillery class ship, right? Then we have an artillery cruiser, the Terminus, and the Jupiter class missile cruiser as well. And finally, we have 3 different types of battleships. Actually named an episode after this earlier in the series. We have an artillery battleship, we have a just weaponry battleship, and God, you can tell. And then we have the Claudius class support ship, which carries both fighters and also, I just love the look of these ships, by the way. Can I just say that? I mean, they look freaking cool. Let's, we've installed crystal infused plating on, it looks like, our battleships, none of our lesser ships. I can probably keep it that way for now. And then we have several different defense platform types. We have just a basic medium defense platform, a light defense platform, and then a point and missile platform. Now, it seems like some of those were missing components, so let's go ahead and install these. This is one thing I've definitely been doing in my offline play is finally, there's a small section of the comment section that's already like jumping for joy right now, but I've been using defense platforms a little bit more liberally and building up kind of defense points to my empires. And one of the reasons for that is that it's yet again kind of a newer gameplay habit. Now that Stellaris is based purely in hyperlane transport, unless you get the really advanced stuff later in the game, it's all about choke points. And it's been that way for a few updates now. I'm not saying anything new, but it has taken me a while to fully adjust to that. And one of the things that you can do much more effectively than you used to be able to do it is build powerful star points or star bases at choke points so that you can defend yourself even when your fleets might not be around. And speaking of fleets, we also have 3 fleets, which I have queued up here, or which I have set to hotkeys and also queued up. So Fleet 1, Classis 1, is on its way back for upgrades at the moment. Classis 2 is sitting in Milistamu, potentially getting ready to jump into the Dabbling Free Trader territory. Hang on. Yeah, we currently have a truce with them, and we will for at least another 3 years. So that's from the first time that we conquered them. And let me also remind myself what is going on with my species in my empire. So we have Dabulans, all of which need to be modified, frankly, because their amenity productions from jobs just sucks. So I might go ahead and, what do we have here? Why are there 2 different I guess there were already just different templates that, I don't know if I created this one or not, but I can't imagine why I would have left 1 point unspent. We might have gotten an additional point from some tradition or technology, but let's go ahead and create a template here. Okay, I can't remove repugnant because there's not enough trade points, but I can remove solitary. Hang on. Yeah, same thing here. Solitary, I can remove. And then I can just create that template as a way to make a slightly better Dabulan. And I can apply this to the entire species in a way that would not take very long. Yeah, just 2 months. Let's go ahead and do that. And I can also delve into the secrets of the Cybrex. How long have I been sitting on that? That is an engineering research project. We're currently researching the Mega Cannon. Let's take a quick look. All right, so we don't have any of the options immediately needed for... Yeah, I'm going to queue the Mega Cannon back up, but we don't have any of the options immediately needed for Mega Engineering. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go back to the situation log, and we're going to go ahead and say that we want to delve into the secrets of the Cybrex. I must have activated that and then not done anything with it. Also, we have an anomaly that we haven't investigated yet in the Barukan system. And it seems as though we can get there. Let's see which science ship is closest. Starting to get to gameplay mode. But before I do that, I do want to go through my empire as well, as I mentioned, which should be good because it gives us all kind of a fresh look at things. Yeah, you're the closest. All right, so you're currently assisting research in the what? Alpha Centauri system? Go research that, and then I want you to come right back and continue that job. Thanks very much. Okay, so having given that order, we're 10 minutes in. Let's take a moment. Again, we're looking pretty good. It doesn't seem like there's any drastic need to, you know, for instance, fix a consumer goods shortage or an alloy shortage or a food or minerals or even energy shortage. We're in really good shape economically. We are producing just 2 influence per month, so that kind of makes me wonder where my influence is going. But we will figure that out a little bit later on, I imagine. Mars has just been colonized, so the gene clinics are being built as we speak. And yeah, one thing that I've definitely picked up on is maybe don't upgrade everything at once, Hadrian. Finally learned that just from, you know, the fact that upgrading these buildings, notice that the upkeep changes to require a rare resource there. If you upgrade everything at once the way you used to in vanilla Stellaris, it's much more punitive. So you have to kick that habit if you are jumping back into this version of the game. And of course, I'm preaching to the choir for those of you who have been playing more regularly. But for anyone jumping back in, or maybe who's never played at all, or who has played the console edition, which is several versions behind the PC edition, if you pick it up on PC, there are some differences. That is for sure. So let's take a look at what I have lots. Oh man, I have tons of rare crystals. So that's good news. I can definitely get more consumer goods from just about any building. I'm going to go ahead and queue up both of those upgrades. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to queue up upgrades to just about any consumer goods building I can find that needs one. Anything else that requires... Yeah, anything else that requires crystals, for that matter, is about to get an upgrade. Now, you require volatile motes, yes. So, looks like I have a surplus of just about everything, which is good. But... yeah, I'll go ahead and upgrade that. That's not helping a lot, because this is not a big mining planet. As a matter of fact, it's a generator world right now. I can change that. This is a mining world, though. Wait, did I? All right, that requires gas. How am I doing on gases? I have some extra gases, too, so let's upgrade the research labs where possible as well. Just a few of them. I don't have as many research labs as I do consumer goods buildings. I wonder why. Oh, here's some consumer goods buildings. Good. Overlooked them completely. This is why we double check. Okay, so going down quickly through our economy. Through our list of planets on the outlier. Really haven't done a lot in terms of research labs with this. I may have to make sure that I might even replace some of these. Yeah, there's a research lab there. That's good. Okay, I'm going to leave the rest of these alone. I'll go ahead and upgrade that one. Oh, wow. That's a big change. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Very, very good. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to come down to the planets that actually needed things built at this point. How am I doing on volatile motes? Not... I mean, I'll go ahead and upgrade one of those, I suppose. But I need to be mindful. All right, no rare resources here to exploit. But I can build a new building. Anything I'm kind of low on? Volatile motes is going to need some more love pretty soon. I may as well build some chemical plants here. And then... you need what? potentially the same thing. Amenities is fine. Housing is, eh. Just upgrade that. Aha! We have New Mystic Shrine, which will give us additional Unity, Society Research, and amenities. Let's go ahead and put that on Nisa. And then finally, Caledonia has some worker unemployment. So, what would I like the most? I think I'd like some extra minerals, please. Build. Okay. And with that being done, I'm going to unpause. Let's go to speed 2. And we're going to jump back in. Stellaris got some great news recently. ASPEC helped campaign for this to a certain degree. In addition to the fact that the Federation's expansion is coming out, which is looking amazing, and we'll talk about it more as it gets close. Oh, we have a new tradition available. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Enforcers reduce crime by an additional 20%, or governor level cap increase by 2. That would give us access to ruler level cap increase, and this would give us a resource output from workers and slaves. Let's go ahead and bring that one step closer, shall we? So we now have Judgment Core. Enforcers reduce crime by an additional 20% as we work through the domination tree. As I was saying, so ASPEC campaigned for this in particular, and there was a lot of community kind of galvanization around this. The Stellaris team has devoted new team members. They've brought in more people to the Stellaris team and have made a concerted effort to begin focusing, starting with the next patch and just going forward, on improving late game performance. My rig does a decent job. It actually does a really good job relative to... Hang on, what do we have here? All right, so we have a battleship. Looks like it's reinforcing Cartoich's Star Hunters. It's kind of annoying. We're already taking over a lot of Verisius space, but I am going to lose a few, it seems, reinforcement ships. Okay, well, that's going to happen. But yeah, my rig does a decent job with running Stellaris in the late game, but even on my machine, what you'll see is, you know, there's not a lot of graphical slowdown, but in the late game, let's say, here's a long jump lane. Let's say you're going to have, like, this science ship jump to Cipiton from Alpha Centauri. Rather than just seeing it cruise across, you're going to see this. Like it, like, I didn't mean to actually make frog noises while I was making that example, but it kind of frog hops into the system. That, you know, everything kind of stutters a little bit in the late game. And that's the kind of performance improvement that I would like to see, because that's what is most noticeable. But a lot of people with slower processors and just slightly less system resources have even more problems than they should. And that's really good news for the game that they're, you know, so specifically focusing on that. Yes, let us continue. The moats must flow. The question is how many? What did I have previously in terms of volatile moats? That's right, it doesn't freaking tell me. Ugh. Well, I have a good amount extra, so why don't we go ahead... I have a big energy surplus, though. I'm just going to go for the middle option and see how much it changes. All right, right now it's at +5. Goodbye. Still at +5. It'll refresh now. Okay, so I actually had the second from the bottom option. Good to know. All right, so Classes 1 is good. Already upgrading. Classes 2, again, sitting on the border of their space, waiting for that truce to go away. And then we have Classes 3. If I didn't mention this before, they're just doing some patrolling. And we could have them go in and upgrade as well, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And go back up to speed 2. So this war is going insanely well.
Ships refitted.
We're in control of Cartoich's Star Hunters,
Construction
and
complete.
Evidently we'd already given orders to take over some territory here, and we're doing that. The Carabineers trade station has been destroyed by the Hisma Horde. We've been unable to confirm if any survivors escaped the slaughter. All right, so our good friends up here are wreaking havoc in very, very inappropriate fashion. Thankfully, we are buffered from the Hisma Horde by this fallen empire, but our science ship that we've sent, yeah, that science ship can't actually go to Badukan unless I order experimental subspace navigation. That's entirely possible. I can tell it to jump straight to Badukan that way, but then, see, I'm still worried that we would get cornered by these guys, because we'd be in their sensor range. So I think I may just let that one anomaly sit uninvestigated until we've dealt with the Hisma Horde. I don't want to lose a science ship. Not right after we jump back into the series. We'll be more foolhardy with our scientists later, not now. Let's see what else I can do here. I believe they're, these guys I needed to fix. So let's go ahead and apply this template to just the 4 of you. So that other species modification project has already finished up. Thankful to say. Crackdown. While it cannot be denied that the intoxicating effects of Colonia Hesperides' atmosphere are enjoyable and even helpful in some cases, there is pressure from the more conservative parts of the Roman Star Empire to crack down on the possibly addictive gases. So currently there's the atmospheric hallucinogen, which increases biological pop happiness, lithoid pop happiness, no lithoids in this game because this was a pre-lithoids save, and then additional physics research from jobs, and then 30% less governing ethics attraction. So people are more likely to be rebellious here on Colonia Hesperides because our governing ethics are less attractive here. They're just more likely to get a wild hair and do something different with their lives. So the question is, what should I shut it down? Or should I leave it as it is? Would it be more interesting to leave it as it is? There's nothing. I've already got a righteous governor and an intellectual governor. I'm going to shut it down. We're going to remove this thing after the Secrets of the Cybrex are done, and that's going to be done in 4 months. The Caravansary Caravan Coalition, tongue twister there, has reestablished its trade station in the Trab system, formerly a Euthonian territory. Good. So they didn't get permanently destroyed. They just kind of had to migrate. Because the Great Khan is a douche.
Ships refitted.
Hang on. We need another upgrade. Go back to the Dhabi station.
New species variant available.
All right, good. We've completed the modifications to the human species. Let's go back in and see any edicts that I need to set up. I tend to doubt it, but yeah, we look pretty solid at the moment. Now that I have 200 influence, though, well, no, I'm not going to build a habitat anymore. I was talking about that last episode, but I'm not going to do that at this point because it has been clarified that, there are specific things that I need for mega engineering, and it's not building a habitat. So I can build a habitat with the influence that I have, but I'm going to avoid it for now. Okay, so Scrivium is ready for some upgrades. Oh, and you're also ready for... Hang on, how are we doing? Yeah, let's definitely upgrade the research labs there. We don't have a ton of extra gases, but we have lots of gases coming in. I'll queue that up as well. Ithaca needs a new role. Let's go ahead and queue up a mining district there. That's the word I was looking for. Are you serious, or is this a different? Where were they? Yeah, they were like right. Yeah, they were there. Holy crap.
Special project complete.
Here we go. Secrets of the Cybrex. We have successfully managed to integrate the Cybrex artifacts into our research process. Their insights into megastructure engineering will greatly aid our own. Hey! Well, that's one way to get mega engineering, you guys. It's just freaking research Secrets of the Cybrex. The question is, I got to go back and find out, or some of you can go back and find out if you want. How many episodes was I sitting on that option, having selected, because it's a relic option that you start with to research the Secrets of the Cybrex, but then it becomes a project that you have to initiate, as I did at the beginning of this episode. Wow. Okay, well, we are back to Stellaris gameplay on the channel.
Construction complete.
Oh, man. Okay, so we have those upgrades happening. What else can I build here, though? Housing-wise, I'm okay, and amenities-wise, I'm okay. Let's take a look at, we don't need gene clinics on an almost fully built-up world. Volatile moats, maybe. We don't have any rare resources to exploit. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do chemical plants there. Then Elysium, no rare resources here either. So let's go ahead and do some exotic gas refineries there. And then there are a few places that seem to be in want of housing. So let's facilitate that by building some city districts. Nova Egyptus is building up rapidly. It's got 4 city districts, and yet it's still out of housing. Yikes. There's some specific buildings, not districts, that I can set up as well that will help with that.
Science Division report success.
Good. So we can now create resort worlds. We can unlock an additional Unity ambition, or Ascension perk, with and also gain access to Unity ambitions. Ooh, yeah. We've already researched, it seems, a good bit of... no, this is the first administrative efficiency upgrade, I think. I think it's the very first one. That just seemed like a huge cost, but it's because of how far over our cap we are. That's why research is so expensive. So that's probably going to be the best one to do, because that'll help just about everything. Anything we can do to increase our administrative cap, because right now we're atrociously over it. And in federations, if you didn't know this, the penalty for going over your empire sprawl, your administrative capacity with your empire sprawl, will be even higher. Especially if you're a machine empire. It'll be double if you're a machine empire. It'll be reduced if you're a hive mind, which I don't know how I feel about the machine empire change, but I can see like what the logic behind it is. The logic behind it
Complete.
Seems to be that, well, because of the innate properties of a machine empire and the coordination, I don't remember how they justified it in the dev diary, but something about like hive minds can fall back on their instincts, and so they can have more sprawl without a penalty, or without as much of a penalty, because it's all in terms of percentages, so it's all about proportion relative to other things. But then machine intelligence, for whatever reason, and they might change this because it doesn't make sense to me right now, maybe we can talk about it in the comments, but they get a double penalty for going over their administrative cap at all. All right, so the Carabineers have once again reestablished territory. Where are you now? Okay, they're still within range of the Hisma Horde, but not... The Hisma Horde would have to do some conquering. So maybe that will alleviate the pressure on the Carabineers a little bit. All right, so we are 32 months away. Tell you what, I just want to go ahead and go straight for Mega Engineering because, damn it, I want that. And that's going to give us the ability to, finally select that Ascension perk. So let's just go straight for it. The Mega Cannon can freaking wait. I'm going to switch to another Mega if you want. All right, now we are at our alloys capacity, so let's go ahead and sell crap tons of alloys. I'm not going to kill the market for alloys, but, well, we kind of are. And now that also takes us to our energy cap, which means it is a great time to buy some minerals. And that should now be much better. Okay, unpause. Earth has no more housing at all to speak of. Now, oh, interesting. So we've got a large fleet that's actually pushing into Raxar hegemony territory. This hasn't happened yet for the entirety of the war. Happy I spotted this. Hang on, let's see what's going on here. We have these upgrades happening. I might need to get my personal fleets involved in this. I haven't been paying much attention to the conflict because it was going so well, but I suppose maybe it's time for me to start paying attention. Okay, let's get... Yeah, I didn't realize these guys weren't even doing anything. I'll give the order to reinforce the fleet. Although it does seem like the...
Fleet lost.
Yeah, this is happening
Construction complete.
a lot lately.
Construction complete.
There we go. Yeah, no, it keeps coming back. It's this thing with there being different, like, more ships. I don't know what the exact nature of this bug is. It's another thing we can talk about in the comments, but it's been in the last couple of versions of Stellaris, even though we're playing the Shelley patch now, no longer the Wolf update. We're in the, I think, 2.5.1 or 2 or 3 patch, but this is kind of a persistent bug where you have the total
Ships
capacity
refitted.
for a certain class of ship, And there might be a couple of different options in here. Okay, we've hit our war exhaustion limit. Seems like we are somehow losing. Maybe on account of this. I didn't realize how much progress they were making, though. Well, that's annoying. I didn't realize that it was going quite that badly. If I had looked at those numbers a little bit more closely, I would have noticed. Oh, wait, hang on. They just accepted peace. Never mind. It's ended with a status quo, so the Izki Alliance actually took a lot of territory. Well. So yeah, when you're looking at a fleet, as I was saying, this is the total capacity, but for some reason there's more in the fleet than there should be, and it's something that you can kind of fix if you keep a close eye on... Yeah, see, it's even happening in my fleet right now. So before we end this episode, let's debug a little bit. What in the world? All right. Let's take a look at our fleet manager. Class 1 should have 3 Claudius and 3 Severus. Okay. Everything else looks good. So there's 4 extra Claudius class ships in Classes 1. Are there any fleets that don't have the required number? No, there's not. So we're just going to destroy those. I don't need them sitting, sucking up resources. They shouldn't exist. So I know it seems a little bit cruel. I'm guessing there are some reinforcements on the way. Yeah, notice what happened? It actually took the Claudius class ships out of the fleet. Oddly enough. Out of the fleet template, which it shouldn't have done. But now it's properly... Look at that, it's perfect. I just pulled the fleet back up and it's showing normally. So hopefully they'll fix that when Federations launches. But let's fix Classes 2 as well, which should have... I'm going to fix this and then end this episode. Like I said, a pretty technical episode, and we'll dive back in the next one with thinking about where we are going to be conquering next as Space Rome. But let's see, Classes 2 is what we need to be looking at. There we go. All right, so we have 10, so we have 20 Corvettes, 8 of each destroyer type. And then it seems like there's actually an imbalance here. 7 Jupiter. Let's actually increase this, because I can. Let's have some more battleships. 4 here, and then 7 here. So there should be 7 Jupiter, 7 Terminus, 8 of each destroyer class, and then 10 of each Corvette, and then 4 of each battleship. Let's order the... Actually, all things considered, I shouldn't have done that. And then what are you? And where did you come from? All right. Classes 2. Classes 7 also shouldn't exist. This is 3 Corvettes and 7, random cruisers. Bye. See you later. Again, one of the things that's being added in the Federation's update is that mega shipyards and also juggernauts, which are bigger than Titans, which are kind of mobile shipyards, mobile star bases, will be added to the game. So hopefully with all of this emphasis on things that can build ships, they've taken a look at whatever this bug is, and it is coming in either an update before Federations, which is not likely, or the Federations update itself. But that has been thoroughly resolved. Let's take one more look at what we've got going on elsewhere. I will go ahead and give the order for that research complex to be built. And then it seems as though we're in pretty good shape here. Let's see, Galactic Stock Exchange. On Regia, it'll produce trade valued amenities. Where is Regia exactly? Is it in Runa? It is. So what do we have at this? Yeah, we do have a trade hub here, so that would feed additional trade value directly into the trade network without my needing to do anything. Let's do it. why not? I'm sure there's some reason why not, but let's do it anyway. And then we are going to build luxury resources, or luxury residences here, because we're out of housing, and that's probably a good thing to do for Scandia. And it seems like some additional housing is in order there. Okay, with that being done, we're 35 minutes in. I wanted to spend a little bit of extra time reacquainting ourselves with the save. If you have any questions about the save, things that you want me to investigate in coming episodes, I'm going to do one more recording after I finish this one, so I might not be able to get to immediate kind of questions and comments from folks. Hopefully you're excited to see Roma Galactica II back. I know a number of people have been waiting for it. Speaking of which, I will go ahead and say before I wrap this episode up, for those of you that are still here, as far as Stellaris content going forward on the channel, the reason we're doing Roma Galactica II right now and not Legacy of the Forerunners is that I did a poll a while back and I said, what would you guys most like to see? The winning response was actually a Lithoids series, a brand new Lithoid series, and the second most popular response was Roma Galactica II. The reason I am not doing the Lithoids option is I feel like within a month and a half at the most, we are going to be looking at a new Stellaris expansion. And with that in mind, I think it makes more sense to maybe do a Lithoid series when Federation launches, which would be kind of cool, because it'd be like combining the best of those things together. And in the meantime, I will play through 20 episodes of Roma Galactica II, and then I will play through 20 episodes of Legacy of the Forerunners, and we'll wrap up the existing series that we have. That's the plan for Stellaris going forward on the channel. And of course, as you're noticing, it's in the 4 p.m. time slot once again, which has been Stellaris' typical time slot in the past, but I think when the series went on break, it was in the 1 p.m. slot, so slight change from what it was. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to stop this episode here. Like I said, in the next one, we're going to maybe take a look at when this truce with the Dabulan ends. It might have already ended. No, wait, nope, not yet. Yeah, we have another couple of years, but the Dabulan free traders are going down. We're probably going to finish taking their entire territory now that we don't have to fight a war over here and have to worry about two different fronts. And once we have the Dabulan free traders in our control, we might see about pushing back against the Hisma Horde so that they don't become a bigger menace and continue to threaten the Caravansary coalition. Not that Rome cares too much about that, but that's a potential economic boon to the Empire. So we want to make sure that we are staying on top of this rogue menace up to our galactic northeast. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are going to be coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.